Hi, welcome to Danbury Democrats, and I'm John Gogliettino, and I'm your host. We're going to be talking to a couple of candidates for office here for city council in the first ward and city council at large. And we got Dennis Perkins in the first ward. He's the incumbent. And we've got Mike Flanagan, who's running at large at city council. So without further ado, let's bring them on and have them give a self intro on how they got to where they are. Let's put it that way, and whatever else they'd like to add. So welcome to the show, and let's go with Dennis, the incumbent, first.
Well, thank you, John, for having me on this show. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everybody. As you know, my name is Dennis Perkins. Born and raised right here in Danbury, Connecticut. Went to the public schools along with Western Connecticut State University. Now I'm the incumbent, and that sounds good. I ran for so long to win this spot on a city council back in 2023. I'm very happy to be an advocate and represent the constituents in Ward 1. We've done a lot of good things in Ward 1, from paving 8 roads, from long advocacy of those roads like Daniels Drive, Rowan Street, Cushion, and other roads have been paved. And I'm very happy to continue on that path of getting things done for our great constituents in Ward 1.
Okay. And I remember from the last interview, you said something that you had to get the traffic under control, right? And the mayor has hired, along with you approved the hiring, 10 additional police. So we got more policemen on the roads to get the speeders, bring that under control, right?
Absolutely. It's great that we did hire 10 additional officers. I'm looking to hire more officers. And let's place some more officers in the traffic division, because there's a lot of areas in Ward 1 where there's a lot of speeding. And by hiring more officers in the traffic division, we can have more enforcement along South King Street, along King Street going around the corner to Robin Hood and Little John. Those are very problem areas with a lot of speeding. So if we get more traffic enforcement in those areas, it'll help our constituents out a great deal.
Okay. All right. Now, Mike, you're up. You're running for city council at large, and you didn't make it to the office you ran for last time, but you seen the city council in action, and you decided you wanted to get in on the fun, right?
So. Yeah, exactly, John. Following Dennis, that's a hard act to follow. Doing a lot of great work out there. Okay, I'm born and raised here, Danbury school system graduate, St. Pete's, and then Danbury High. Lived here most of my life. Love this city. My brother Steve was on the council representing the 5th Ward back in the 90s. John, I'm sure you remember. Yeah. Gene Eriquez was mayor. So it's kind of in the family. I've been interested in politics, local politics, for a very long time. I met Roberto when he came on the museum's executive board, and we became friends. And I started to follow him and be active in his campaigns. And I just, along with Dennis and the others on the council, I try to go to all the council meetings, and certainly saw a lot of that firsthand when I ran 2 years ago for treasurer. But nobody's going to beat Dan Jowdy. So it was an interesting time to do it, and I'm more involved, and I just want to stay this way. It's just I'm retired. I just want to give back. The city's been very good to me and my family, and I just so council at large, I think, is pretty interesting because you can represent all 7 wards.
Yeah,
to help out.
You're gonna have a polling place which is in all the wards.
Well, the thing that I like, and my attitude is, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Dennis about this, but so Dennis represents the 1st, but if I can go in and I can help him, or the 5th, or whichever ward it is, as a councilman at large, that's what I think we should be doing, and I think that is what's doing on the council now. The council at large people, I believe the ones I've spoken with, they do take this very seriously. So it's what should be an honor to represent, like Ken is doing, 1 ward, and he's doing a great job with that. And because I grew up in the 5th, that would be the icing on the cake. But this, I get to represent the entire city, or help with that representation, and I'm really excited about that. Well, we'll see where it goes.
You're a teammate of all the other people, and you're right about that.
Exactly, John. And I think that's exactly, and a teammate to the mayor and his staff. And I've seen them close up working the last campaign with this one, with Dennis, going to various gatherings. Last weekend we were at the Vespucci Italian Festival. Wonderful time. Great turnout at our booth. People very interested, and the mayor was there. In fact, when I was over there Sunday, the mayor was actually in one of the kitchens working. So, and Diane Lapine and others. So, I love the sense of community within this party.
One other question before we go to my track here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to do, or you probably would have already mentioned it? Is there something in particular that you're interested in working on at this point in time, or you just been looking at the whole thing?
No, I've been looking at the whole thing, John. And to Dennis's point earlier, is just there are good things coming down the road, and I want to be part of that. I want to see that firehouse on the west side, on Mill Plain area, done and manned, or staffed. The new high school, which is not far from where I live, going to make. I graduated from Danbury High on Clapboard Ridge, and I won't tell you what year. It was a long time ago, but all of these things. It just feels like the city's going in the right direction, and I just really, really want to be part of that and work with Dennis and the other council members.
Right. Okay. Very good. Okay, that was next on my agenda. That is that they haven't gotten a location yet. They're looking for. They're probably negotiating with people, but it's going to be in the vicinity of Mill Plain, but they're not sure about where in that strip of land. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not to be specific,
right?
But, that way you're in that whole section of I don't know how many. If you want to say 2 miles going this way and a mile going that way or whatever, is about the middle, and that way the maximum of homes are affected by having that in the right place to bring the cost of insurance down.
It's always a good thing.
Dennis, speak to that. It could drop insurance rates 5%, right?
Absolutely. The closer you are to that firehouse, the better rate you can have. That's absolutely correct. And I'm very excited to have that fire station on that side of town, not just for the insurance rates, but for the potential of saving lives of families. So that's saving lives is paramount to everything. But on a side note, your rates will go down by being close to the firehouse.
Right. And those people that are in the condos on the west side there, that their rates will go down, and they're less. There's less danger with the trucks coming from downtown and from the mall area. You know,
Correct. Right.
yeah, that's good. And then we've got there's a comment here about emergency services that Dennis, do you want to point the difference between emergency, which people use in an emergency, and what people like 311? What the purpose of 311 is?
The purpose of 311 is like, for an example, if you have a pothole issue, you can call 311 and give a notification of the location of the pothole and stuff like that. 911 is basically going through the fire departments, I believe, and that's where they'll send out an ambulance or police officer to take care of those types of those types of
emergencies.
emergencies. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, well, because believe it or not, some people call the wrong telephone number because they call 911 and they start asking about city events and things. So we're trying to cut that out and direct them to 311. So that's good to have on here. Have you noticed the parks? Mike, do you want to talk about this one? The parks and
Sure.
ball fields?
Sure.
I
live close to Rogers Park, and it's been dramatic. I think what they've done and improved, more lighting, and really you go down there on a weekend, and it's packed with people. They're playing ball, or there's the tennis courts, or they're just down walking around the pond down at the end. One of our councilmen, Ryan Hawley, is working on I think it's called Third Space.
He's good. He's going to come on and talk about that next week.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. And they're doing that at the Veterans Building. And it's just, again, born and raised in Danbury and not too far from Rogers Park. I've really, and the War Memorial Building. I mean, they've just done so many good things. And all the parks, not just there, obviously. And you mentioned the one up on Highland Avenue.
They were. Yeah, the point being that a lot of them were running down. They were putting money into it, and the tax rate that we got compared to the area towns, they got much higher tax rates, and we've improved all of these parks and ball fields with just by doing the job and not tucking it away, like they were doing, and using it on something else that would, like getting consultants instead of using our state reps to, or jumping in the car yourself.
Yeah,
like the mayor does. He goes up to the state and says, "Hey, we need some more money," and because he's up there, a lot of mayors don't go. The majority of mayors do not go up to, and he goes and knocks on the door. I wouldn't put it past him. He probably knocked on the governor's door.
Oh, I believe that's true. Yeah.
John, can I just chime in and echo in on the parks? Here we have our letter of updates that we send out to our constituents in Ward 1, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy to say that, and a big shout out to the Public Works Department for the work they did on the T-ball fields up on King Street. Even before I got elected, the parents was talking about the shape of the fields and why can't we get our fields more suitable for our children to play T-ball on. So I'm very proud to say that this year the Public Works really stepped up. They reclaimed the fields, and the fields are raked now, and the fields look awesome for the children playing T-ball. So a big shout out to the Public Works Department and their crew for really stepping up and getting those T-ball fields in great playing shape.
Okay, I was going to come your way. I was just going to mention that when the mayor goes up there, he knocks on the right doors. He got $12 million in this first year, and this coming term for this year, he got $13 million. For various needs, mainly education, but a number of things are being taken care of with extra the monies that he got by going up to Hartford. And the revitalization, who knows? Do you, Mike? Do you know? Maybe we'll both have you speak about revitalization, because you know what? When they started doing that, I wasn't sure about it. I hadn't heard about it. I hear from the TV show what's going on. And nobody talked to me about it yet, So they're doing some sidewalk work, and I don't know what the extent of the revitalization is. Dennis, you want to start talking about it, and then
Well, the state is a great state to be in, right? We want to have a vibrant downtown. We're working on that each and every day to bring more residents downtown, bring more restaurants. I like to see more clothing stores come downtown, and there's more things that bring people downtown to enjoy our great downtown. And this project is very, very telling. I'm behind it 100%, and I like to see it to move forward.
Okay, so aside from the sidewalks, they're going to be advertising that we got so many spaces open, and consider bringing a business downtown. We're fixing up your sidewalks for you, and improving the roadway in some way or other, right?
Correct.
Okay. Mike, do you know anything that you'd like to add?
I know that, one of the problems that the mayor had heard early on was that the sidewalks, in many cases, because of the way that the trees that were planted, shallow roots were breaking up the concrete. And so there's tripping hazards. And, if somebody was on crutches or that it was a problem. So, with the grant money that he was able to get, we're going to fix all of that and plant trees that won't break up, in 20 years, won't be breaking up the sidewalks, and give nice shade, which is important. You need that canopy to keep it cool. So it's just, again, like Dennis was saying, these, the mayor and the council heard these things and they reacted. And I think that is huge. And so this is part of that. And I know a lot of people were upset when all those trees got cut down, and you hate to see trees cut down, but they were ruining sidewalks. And with shallow roots, if you get a bad storm, they could fall. I mean, there's a lot going on. So
and the only way you can fix the sidewalks and do it properly is to take the trees down and then fix the walks and plant other trees.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, but that's the only way to do it.
Well, and Dennis is right. We want to make downtown a destination, and with Dennis's help, this council is doing that, and with the grant money that was brought in. So I think it's wonderful.
Okay. Now there's much to do in a lot of ways. But these are the things that have been done, but there's going to be more done in the education realm. The high school is a first step, and there's little improvements here and there to get it up to snuff, because it's there was years of neglect, so education would be another area, but can't do it all in 1 year, right? One term, it takes a couple of terms or more, so Dennis, you have anything else on that list you'd like to your checklist there for your constituents?
Wow, the checklist is long. It's long. But one of the things that I was involved in even before I got on the council was Flintlock Drive, and those residents on Flintlock Drive needs answers to the issues and concerns, and that's something that I'm working on. I want to stay working on it because we have to bring resolution to Flintlock Drive. We have not forgot about Flintlock Drive. We just putting things together. Hopefully, we have a potential solution for the residents on Flintlock, and I'm working every day to bring that to fruition and to bring the answers to the constituents on Flintlock Drive, because they deserve answers, and that's why I'm here. That's what I got elected to advocate and represent my constituents, and hopefully we have a good outcome for Flintlock. I'm very optimistic about it.
Right. I think that was a problem with the drainage, or is it a problem with the road also?
It's a fact of all those things, but it's a
Yeah.
private road, and
Yeah, that's right. Because the city never what was
this,
I forget what the word is when you accept the road.
yeah,
And,
dedicated and accepting the road. There's things that needs to
the
be
city
done.
is now going to pave it and clean the snow off of it and do other things.
They've been
When
doing that. They've been maintaining
oh,
it.
okay,
Fixing
okay,
potholes. Where is needed. They put a new drain on the cul-de-sac. But yeah, it's a private road, and we're trying to see what we could do. But the thing about Flintlock, which is a little different than other roads, is that it has the width, it has a turnaround. So there's a lot of things in Flintlock's favor. But hopefully, Chairman Shanice, myself, and Councilman Fox, we could be able to call this ad hoc as soon as we can. But that's up to Chairman Sinise. He's working with the Corporation Council over a couple of things. So hopefully we can bring resolution to Flintlock. I've been advocating for Flintlock even if I got on the council, and they need answers to their concerns and issues. And that's what being a councilman is all about. It's about getting things done.
right. Well, I'm glad that things are moving along because never mind.
It's moving,
Well,
but it's always a process. And part of it is, John and Mike, as you know, I'm pretty sure you're going to get on the council in November. Half the battle is showing up. That's half the battle.
yeah, that way people know that you're working at it.
Absolutely,
not just giving them a line, so to speak.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I tell this to anybody, and by winning by only 7 votes in last election, so every vote do count. But this is not a popularity contest. You got to vote for the person who's going to get the job done, and not just sit on the council or miss half the council meetings back in 2021, and then resign in 2023. How are you representing your constituents by not showing up? Show up, half the job, and then doing the job is the other 50%.
Right. You want to be a workhorse, not a show horse.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I believe in the constituents in Ward 1 that I'm gonna let my record speak for itself, because I've been advocating for this for so long, right? And every time I told my constituents, look, if you give me the opportunity to represent you on the council, I'm going to represent you to the best of my ability. And promises made, promises kept. We got 8 roads paved in Ward 1, 2 deadly trees taken down in Ward 1, working with residents on Flintlock, bringing residents together from Ford and Ventura Avenue neighborhoods, bringing them together. A big shout out to Pastor Cobb at United Methodist Church. He allowed us to come in to meet with the other neighbors, and we came up with solutions. That was not a city problem, but I brought everybody together. We figured out the solution. We cleaned out those pipes, and right now everything is good. So that's what it's about. It's about getting things done. It's not about being the most popular guy or woman. This is not school. We're not trying to be the king or the prom queen. This is real life issues, real life concerns. You're gonna vote for somebody who don't show up, taking space. You're gonna vote for somebody who's getting things done. And hopefully the constituents in Ward 1 will see the value that I bring, and hopefully I can continue on.
Okay, let's give Mike 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, Mike.
No, it's okay, Dennis.
To talk about what he'd like to. But first of all, let's take a minute and give your telephone number and your email anybody's got any questions that might have come up from this introduction to the voters out there, that they can contact you. So starting with Mike, your best telephone number and email that people can send you, questions or
Okay,
call
sure.
you with questions.
Yes. So my cell number is always in my pocket. That's the one. So 203-794-2520. Again, that's my cell. My email is 4210Mike, lowercase, @gmail.com. And that's monitored regularly.
Okay.
So those are the two best ways to get a hold of me.
All right. Very good. Now we go to Dennis. And Dennis, we're just doing, you got another 2 minutes. That's the way I figure it here. So do your telephone and your email right now.
The best way to get hold of me is right here in the office. I got a dedicated line for council business, and that number is 203-983-5541. Once again, 203-983-5541. My email, you can do this, the city email, that's de.perkins@danbury-ct.gov. Once again, de.perkins, PERKINS, @danbury-ct.gov, GOV.
All right. I guess they corrected the time. We got a minute each. So starting with Mike, sorry, they gypped you out of a minute, but what are you really looking for? Is there anything particular, or you just like the whole thing? And
Well,
you're saying the right thing about being at large. That's how you do. You partner with the other people around the city that need your help. The other council people, and have meetings about issues.
And
Anything
John,
else?
that's exactly how I see it. Representing the entire city would be monumental. But having people like Dennis in the first, and if he needed help, I think that's the job of the council at large. That's my take. And I love the city. I love this administration. I love what the mayor's doing, and I hope to be able to win this election and just add to what I see as the city going in the right direction. And I love the city and all the things that the mayor has done. We'd be very proud to support him, support Dennis, the rest of the council, and do my very best for a city that I was born and raised in and love.
All right, thank you. And Dennis, we're down to 30 seconds, so you got that much.
Sorry, Dennis.
Well, that's good. Well, I thank you. I thank you, Mike, for your support. And I'm gonna support you as well, because I always say working together always works. And the best thing I can say about the council position, I don't like being a councilman. I love being a councilman because it gives me the drive and the satisfaction of really getting out here to help our constituents with whatever their needs is. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. This is not a political job. This is a job about getting things done for your constituents when they need you. And like I keep saying, it's not about sitting there. It's about being proactive and getting the job done. And I think I've proven that in my first term. Looking forward.
Remember from an old politician here, and that is you want to be a workhorse, not a show horse.
I like that, John.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I want to thank the viewers for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same time, same station.